headed down the street. We have a good client of ours that just got a really special AP, so we're gonna go deliver that to him. And I'll let you guys see when we get there what it is.
So we're on our way to a good client right now. He's actually bought a few watches from us, an RM10 and a few other watches. We've been working on a deal. He's been trying to figure it out. He ended up buying an RM10 because he thought he wanted an RM. You know, we tried that RM10 because he was concerned about the size with some of the other RMs. And truthfully, you know, what I tell some clients is, you know, the RM5s and the RM10s are really good watches. They're really reliable, but I think they just don't check the boxes when it comes to what people expect out of RM. They're just a little smaller. I think that when they first came out, they carried more weight because it was something completely different that nobody had. But now that everybody's seen the 1103s, seen the RM65s, the Bubba Watsons, the RM30s, the 10 and the 5 just seem so small. It's kind of like, you know, a car, like there's so many cars that people like the body style of, and then when they introduce a new one, they go, oh, that's ugly. And then once they get used to it, they look back at the old one and it looks so dated. Well, it's kind of the same thing with some of these RMs. Now, I'm not gonna say that those watches look dated because overall they look like the same design, but I think the size just is not what people expect. They just expect this larger than life watch. Anyways, all that to say is he had bought this RM10 and he decided, you know what, it didn't really check the boxes that he was expecting. So we had talked about some skeleton APs and things of that nature. So we cashed him out on the RM a little bit ago, and then he decided to trade in 2 pieces he bought from the AD that he has some equity in that I'm gonna be able to cash him out. And so he's gonna apply that over a 15305. He does have a smaller wrist. That's why he thought the RM10 was gonna suit him at first. And that's why we went that route, because he does have a smaller wrist. But anyways, all that to say is he ended up going for the 15305, which is a 39mm skeleton. It's in rose gold. It's in like almost brand new condition. I'm just stoked to show it to him so that he can knock this one off of his bucket list. This was definitely on his bucket list, and I think it's gonna be a great watch for him, because that watch just looks so tailored and so perfect on smaller wrist. I just really think it's such a classy piece. By the way, we're not gonna be able to take you guys in with this client. He's very private about his stuff. And I think especially because of his relationship with the AD, he doesn't wanna be on camera. But we at least wanna show you the watches we're taking him and then the watches we're gonna trade in.
All right, so here it is. 39mm open work, and let me take it off the pillow for a second so you guys can see what it looks like. And it's a beautiful, stunning watch, and that rose gold just makes it shine way more. It's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, and just so that the viewers know, like these watches originally come on a strap, and what people have done is the bracelets that fit across the Royal Oak lineup fits on this watch. So even pieces like the dual time that we had a while ago that comes on a strap and all that stuff, AP makes it available to clients for you to buy the original AP bracelet, and that's what they've done here. So we have an original on strap 15305. They've bought the AP bracelet on it, and that's what makes this package so beautiful. I think it's really important to show that the one difference on this watch that is like a make it or break it for some people, and why the 15407, the 41mm is so much more popular, is that double balance bridge on the front. I don't know if you can see it right here. We're in the parking lot now, so I can kind of pull over. But that balance bridge right there, that's holding that balance wheel, on the 15407, that is also rose gold. So there's a contrast a little bit more on the dial. But honestly, this watch, just with it being in rose, I think in the rose gold it works. If it were stainless, I definitely like the 15407 for a little bit more interest and getting some more contrast in there, since it's a stainless piece, and then the dial is also skeletonized stainless. Whenever you do the 15407, which is the 41mm, they do reserve this balance wheel in rose gold, which just gives it a little bit more of a two-tone pop, little pop of color. But on this piece in rose gold, I just think that the all silver face of it, all that skeletonized movement in silver, or in stainless color, whatever you want to call this, stainless, with the rose gold hands is just enough contrast, and I just think it'll just look super sharp. Looks a little bit more subdued, but still crazy. I mean, just look at that movement in there. It's just gorgeous. AP really does a really good job with their skeletonized movements, and I just think this thing is phenomenal. I'm really stoked for this client. As you can tell, this thing is in brand new condition for him, and it's never been polished, which is the crazy thing. And so I'm just stoked to deliver this to him. I know he's gonna be ecstatic. Actually, one thing we did for him is whenever I quoted him a price, I actually had found a used 2013, and we were gonna pull the trigger on that one. It had been, we know it was polished before, but it was done by AP, so it looked really good. But then last minute, this guy reaches out, and his fiance owned this watch, and they're about to get married. And so she was ready to part ways with it so that they could pay for some stuff. And I was ecstatic. I took it in. This is actually a 2014, so it was a year newer, and it was in brand new condition. He said she literally wore it like one time to a dinner, and it shows. I mean, there's literally like 0 scratches on this thing. And so I'm excited for him because it's definitely an upgrade for him that I'm hoping he appreciates, because that's what I try to do. If we can get you upgraded to something we find later, even though we quote you on something cheaper, I'm not gonna call you back and try and get more money out of you. I'm just gonna get you the best that I can for the money that I can, and that's what we did here. So I didn't call him and raise the price on him. I was able to get it for, actually I ended up paying, what was it, $2,500 more for this one. But to see that smile on his face and build a relationship with that client, that's what we do, and that's what I wanna continue to do. So I know that that's gonna make a major impact. And I know that even though I'm losing a $2,500 right now, in the future when he buys more watches, he's gonna remember that. And yeah, we're about to deliver this thing. All right, guys, well, we walked in and this client has been very gracious and he's gonna let us film the interaction. I always feel like whenever we don't show the deals, you guys think that these are staged, so I'm very grateful that he is gonna let us actually film. He's not gonna be on camera, but we are gonna show you the whole swapping of deals just to kind of give you guys a little bit more insight. So the 2 watches he's trading in, he traded, and then he also added a little bit of money on top to get to this watch we're about to show him, and maybe you guys get to hear a little bit of his reaction. I always say a receiving guy gets to see the watch first, because we got to make sure you love it first before I even receive payment. So let's I'll let you do the honors.
Tell you what, it looks even better in person.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's hard to really tell, like when clients ask me all the time, like, have you seen it in person? Do you know which one is better? And it's like, they're both beautiful, but then both of them are just, even the stainless models, the skeletons in person are way better than any picture or any video you can.
I'm blown away.
Good.
Yes, this is, wow. You're right.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I upgraded you. So the one I told you about, remember we're like, if it's been polished by AP. Last minute, literally right before I pulled the trigger, a guy reaches out to me and says, hey, my fiance has this watch. I bought it for her, and she's ready to sell it because we're about to get married. And it's in like brand new condition. And so I said, brand new, like never been polished, brand new? And he goes, brand new, brand new. So that is not polished, brand new condition, and it's a year newer. So it's 2014 instead of 2013, yeah. Like a glove.
I love it.
Yeah, it's like, you've seen the Royal Oak multiple times. Yes. You've had multiple of them. But something about the way they do the skeleton just like separates the boys from the men.
I'm blown away with it.
Good. All right, so I'm gonna check these out just for camera's sake, so you guys can see what we're trading in. But we have a 23 olive with white tag and in rose gold, so olive dial rose gold olive. This thing is in phenomenal shape, just a little bit of wear, nothing that we can't kiss and touch up. I would say that's almost a slider, not quite, but almost a slider. And then we have one of my favorite AP offshores that they've ever made. I just think it's a fun one, and I always like the 42 millimeters, but we have the 2.6 238 ST. It's got like that powder baby blue dial with the orange accents. It's such a fun watch. These things are great, and what I do like about these newer offshores is that they upgraded the movement to a flyback chronograph. So for all you movement enthusiasts, it's just nice to know that they've not only just made a flyback chronograph, but they've also made one specific for this. I think they cross-use this also with the code, if I'm correct. And so this movement just fits really good within the architecture of the offshore and also the code. Again, it's a flyback chronograph. So for those of you who may not know what a flyback is basically you can run your chronograph, and on most other watches that are not a flyback, they don't have what's called a vertical clutch or any of that stuff. And so that clutch allows you to reset it without having to stop. So let's see, let's give it a couple of winds. There we go, I see it starting to come to life. Usually you want to wind it at least 30 times is usually what I recommend to get it running, and then you can just throw it on your wrist, and then the continued use should get you rolling. But then you're going to start that chronograph, let it go, and then let's say you're timing laps, you don't have to stop it and then reset. You can run it, and then in the middle of running, just reset it. So I know that's pretty basic stuff, but we have a lot of new guys on the channel that are getting into watches, and so it's just always good to refresh people or even teach new generation who's getting into watches, because everybody's going Apple Watch, and that's boring. Oh, and then on that AP, we actually have the stainless steel bracelet to go along with it. So these new generation ones are fun because they have the easy remove system, which on the inside of the lugs allows you to just easily remove that. And so I always hate doing this in front of the client, because then they go, man, did I make the right choice? But I think you got something that more than makes up for it. But anyways, these will be available. Just wanted to check these out before we roll out, but these are great pieces to have, and excited to get them into inventory. But I'm more than anything, I love seeing a reaction like that. I'm glad you love it.
And honestly, it's making me not even, because I was worried. One of the reasons I did this one versus my rose gold, because I was like, what if, and looking at this.
You'll never wear that other one.
Never. That's why I want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And that was funny, like, if you was getting rid of one or the other, would you do the Rolex or would you do the other one?
You mean the Rolex or the 15.5? It's a 15.510.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so different.
Yeah.
I mean, having this, if you're really never gonna wear it, are you ever gonna even wear both though? Is this gonna be your new rose gold piece? So my understanding, just what I thought we were gonna do when we came here, is I thought you were gonna trade these two in and consign that one.
That was my plan. But then this morning, let me go get it.
This is called watch hell. This is when you can't figure out exactly what you want to do watch-wise. So you're trying to go back and forth. You don't want to lose out on a watch. You're not sure if you should sell a watch. You know, sometimes I just tell people, follow your heart. Follow your heart on what you think you're actually going to wear. Also, especially for people in very professional environments. And so there's almost like this, like, I don't want to have too flashy of a watch all the time, but a lot of those guys, you guys are not wearing your watches to work. You have like your sub, or you have your one work watch, and then when you go home and have fun on the weekend, you have your go-to bling out watch or your crazy watch. And so what happens is a lot of times you guys try to think very frugally about your date night watch or your special occasion watch, but that's when you should go all out and follow your heart, because then unless it's one of those things where you're building and building and building because it's baby steps, because you bought a cheaper one, then you kind of upgrade and upgrade, that's totally understandable. But there's a lot of our clients demographic we're catering to, they have the funds for whichever watch they want, but they're maybe trying to be frugal, or they're not sure if they want to spend all the money. That's why it's good to try these things on. Come to the store if you can, and if we have it in stock, we'd love for you guys to try it on. But a lot of times, just follow your heart. That's the easiest thing I could say, is follow your heart. Because like in this case, we've been talking about the skeleton for what, a year? Yeah. And we finally did it. We pulled the trigger on some other stuff just because he wasn't sure. And we kind of did a little bit of a circle. But look, I think at the end of the day, he ended up with what his heart wanted. So that I'm excited for. But for you guys watching, that's the tough part about this whole thing, is not knowing which way to go. And so in this case, like, you know, he has the 15.510. Is he ever going to wear that now that he has the 15.305? I don't think so. I mean, that 15.510 is beautiful, don't get me wrong. But if you have the funds to get that 15.305, like, I just don't see you reaching for the other one.
I appreciate you being a man of your word and getting me, and that's what makes me, you know, when I'm looking at watches, I'm like, I'm calling Josh, because I remember the times when you honored your word, you know, so
yeah.
Thank you for that.
No, of course. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sam. So guys, that's what makes doing what I do awesome. That's why I love what I do. You know, I love whenever I can get a watch for a client. Like I said before, we had agreed on certain condition, and he was okay with that for the price he'd given. But you know what, like $2,500 bucks, it's a lot of money, but on a 6-figure watch like that, to be able to get him a better piece to see that kind of reaction and then earn his business for future times, that's exactly what I want to do, and that's what I'll always do. That's how you build relationships, that's how you keep relationships, and I'm just excited to see that reaction because, you know, we did source that RM, he was excited, but I could tell with this piece, it was something different. He was stoked on this piece, and that's exactly what I want to see. So fortunately on that RM, you know, we sold it to him and we're able to pretty much get him his money back on it, which is what we told him to start. And with this piece, we got it from a good price. The market on these pieces is like $130,000 and we got it for like $17,000 less than the market. So he's super stoked, obviously. I'm super stoked I was able to do that and even still make money on it. Very glad that it all worked out for everybody.
All right, everybody, so this is a watch that I'm purchasing from a client right now. We came to an agreement on a number for this Sin watch. It's the mother of pearl black ceramic U50, and it's the isochrono, they call it. And this is one of those that you don't see every day. This is not a particular piece that you normally see in our inventory because I actually have a dealer that I work with who looks for these a little bit more often. So I'm able to get this one off to him because he's got clientele who typically looks for this type of watch. So if you have a watch that's kind of similar to this, where maybe you don't see it in our cases much, but you're wondering if we buy, give us a call and we can answer your questions on that and see if we can come up with a number that would work and make a deal with you guys. We'll flip it this way. There you go. Then yeah, go ahead. You can close it. It's going to be a little stiff because of those stickers, but you can kind of feel when you go like this.
It's great.
Oh yeah, and the one thing that I do love about this too, blues, for people who want to get into color instead of just black, white, blue is one of the most neutral that goes with just about everything that you're going to wear.
Yeah.
So it's a really smart way of starting.
What are the typical reasons why people would get it serviced?
You know, so in the first 2 years, you probably won't need it. In fact, you probably won't need it for like 5 years. And at the end of 5 years, you might want to service it. Same reason that after driving your car for a while, you might want to take it in and get an oil change. Even if you're not seeing something on the outside, you're just like, okay, let me get a tire rotation, oil change. Let me just, preventative. For a Rolex, they hold really, really well in their quality. They last a long time. They're staples.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see any issues with the watch. And then I typically do suggest to clients, beyond my warranty, beyond the Rolex AD warranty, eventually once you get out there, if you're going to hang on to this and enjoy it for many years, then once you get out there and hit that 5-year mark and past, it's a good time to, you know, just check it out, see how the watch is doing, do a routine service. I was just going back over those numbers after you and I hung up the phone too. I was already checking them before because I knew you would probably be coming back in today.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get 14.9 somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's
a great price.
It's a really good price.
Nice watch, man.
Yeah, it's a really nice watch.
So I'm most likely going to move forward, but I have a couple questions. Like, what are some of the imperfections? Like, if I were to look at a watch, those are the things I should spot.
Aesthetically?
Yeah, aesthetically.
So I would say some people are going to look out and say, okay, what if this watch was like poorly polished? If it's a pre-owned watch, what if, you know, it wasn't handled well when it was polished? So they'll take a look at the lugs right here and see how these are really nice and sharp angles right here. Well, if you see a poorly polished watch, those are going to look more beveled, smoothed over and rounded. That's one thing people will look for. Another thing that they might look for is just flip it over and they'll take a look at this clasp. Most of the time these clasps are gonna, if it's a pre-owned watch, yeah, they'll be really scratched up. Now, if it was a good touch-up job on a pre-owned watch, or if the previous client just didn't wear it very much, that's where we might get a mint condition one that, you know, never even needed a touch-up, that type of thing. But it's gonna look more like this when it's really well taken care of, versus having a lot of different, I would say, well-loved marks or wear and tear marks all the way through. When you've got the high polished center links, people will take a look at that and say, okay, what's the condition of that? How is that? And you can see from the brush on the outsides to the high polish in the center, this is a really, really clean watch all the way through. And basically the goal is to have it look like brand new from Rolex, even if it's a 1-year-old watch or a 5-year-old watch, it doesn't matter. You want it to look as pristine as possible, and this watch is looking really, really good right now. Let me take this one off too.
Do people get it polished like once a year? Is there
I wouldn't suggest that, not typically, because getting it polished, you also don't want to take off too much metal. So that's another thing. That's why sometimes if it's been polished too many times or poorly polished, the sides of these lugs can be a little bit rounded. Smart polishing is waiting until you've enjoyed it, you've worn it a good bit, and then it's like, okay, I can see some wear and tear all over. Not just like, oh, the clasp is tough and there's a little bit, polish the whole thing. You're taking off too much metal over the course of time. You don't want to really change the shape of the watch or the curving of the metal. So that's why typically, you know, a watch, especially a watch that's still young, like 2017, this watch is not that old, it probably only needs a touch up. Most of the time what we do is we do a light buff. So instead of taking it and doing a full polish on it and going through each phase, we'll go to the end phase of a polish, which is a cloth wheel, and just buff out all of like the hairlines and stuff and basically have it looking brand new or as new as possible without doing like a full polish and taking off, you know, a bunch of that metal.
Nice, man. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, awesome. That sounds good. I can get you taken care of over here. And I'm gonna take this to the back so that my team, we like to give you like the WOLVYN experience. We're gonna wrap it up for you, put it in the box and put it in a WOLVYN bag, all of that. Yeah. Let me take this to the back and then I'll just meet you at my desk down there.
Thank you.
You're welcome, my pleasure. All right, everybody, Albert just came in. He was golfing earlier today, but he came in first thing this morning before golf and said, I just want to start a relationship, take a look at your case. And then as we were talking, he slipped out, hey, by the way, I really want a Batman. Like, that's my next watch. And I was like, well, I've got one here. And it's 2017, mint condition, complete set. I've got everything with it and a crazy good price. And it was going for 15. Well, I worked with Albert a little bit and 15 is already one of the best prices out there. He comes back after golf, which he said he had a great day of golf. And I was able to work with him and we just landed at $14,900, which is an incredibly good price on this 2017 Batman complete set. So we're gonna get this wrapped up for you, Albert. Congratulations. All right, guys, let's go get Albert his very first luxury watch ever, first Rolex ever, the Batman. All right, Albert, now something special about this. Literally had somebody come in yesterday, another one of my team members told me, who was looking to pick it up. They were like, okay, I'm gonna come, and they were planning on now coming tomorrow instead. And you came in, yeah, literally nick of time, and you got one of the best prices you'll ever see for a Batman. So you know what, I won't take it out, it's up to you if you want to open it today. But Merry Christmas, happy birthday, all of it. Yeah.
Let's wear this puppy out.
Absolutely.
I'm not used to opening presents. So.
No worries, there you go. And there you go.
Beautiful.
It's one of my favorite parts. So I took one link out here for you too. Yeah, so you can take it off the pillow. Here's your green tag, your white tag, which has serial and model number on it, so it's tied to the same watch. I like to keep the link under the pillow just so that, you know, it's always there for you if you ever want to size it back or anything.
Not just my shirt, everything.
Yeah, it looks amazing, man. It looks so good. Show the camera. This is our YouTube family.
It's the nicest thing I've ever bought for myself.
Congratulations.
So
yeah, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. My pleasure. Look forward to seeing you again sometime.
I will be back.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Show it off, my man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good one. What a day. Come in, take a look at watches, see a Batman, go off and golf, come back, buy it for one of the best prices you ever could. Sounds like a good day, Albert. Congrats.
What's up, guys? Just wanted to go ahead and go over some new pieces that we just got in stock yesterday that I think should be featured on this week's video. From the looks of this big green box here, you can tell that what's in this box is pretty special. It's not in a normal, regular Rolex box. It's in a larger one. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open it up and see what we have in here. So here it is, my holy grail. This is my holy grail. It is a 128236 platinum ice blue baguette dial day-date. And look at this thing. This thing is just amazing. Just from the first look of it, you can already see it's such a luxe piece. When you first take a look at it, you can't really tell that it has baguette diamonds on the dial. You just see that nice ice blue color, but when you look closer, you do see what's special about it, and the baguettes really do complement that ice blue so well. The fluted bezel is just absolutely gorgeous on that presidential bracelet. It's a stunning piece, and in the 36 millimeter, I think it's just perfect. Having this on your wrist is just big time. The platinum bracelet sits so differently than just a regular yellow gold or rose gold presidential bracelet. Nice piece to add to your collection. If you've been looking for one, we have one in stock here at WOLVYN. Please come by our store to check it out in person, or if you're not local, it's also available on our website. Again, $80,000. It's 2023 complete set in mint condition. The person that we got this watch from took such good care of this watch. Another piece that I think is really, really great is the 128235, which is a rose gold day-date with a chocolate diamond dial. What I really love about this style in particular is that this chocolate dial has like a very ombre effect to it. You can kind of see it gets lighter and then goes into a darker color, and at night it almost looks black. So a lot of versatility in that dial as well. The chocolate complements the rose gold so well, the fluted bezel. It's just such a sharp looking watch, and if you're not someone who wants to be too flashy but you still want a little bit of bling, I think that the dial is perfect for someone like that. Again, another 36 millimeter, so it sits really comfortably on the wrist. I think both males and females can wear this watch. It's super unisex. I think if you're gonna go with a rose gold day-date, chocolate dial is a really good combination to go to, but one of my personal favorites is going to be the 228235, which is the 40 millimeter rose gold day-date with the olive dial. That's my personal favorite combination. I think it just looks so good together. It's a nice versatile looking piece as well, just because again you can wear so much with it. I also think that you can dress this piece down and make it look super casual. Seriously, just put a pair of denim on and a nice plain t-shirt and you have this watch on, and the watch speaks for itself. So I love that about this watch. When I first started with WOLVYN, we had about 3 of these in stock, and I would look at it every single day and just think, wow, this watch is perfect. I think it's a great piece to add to your collection. If you're looking for rose gold, this is a really nice piece for you. It also comes in yellow gold. In the last couple of months, I've sold a lot more yellow gold pieces with like the champagne dial. I really like the versatility of that look as well. Super clean look. But we have it in stock here for $50,000. This one is 2022. Great condition, complete set. If you are looking to add a rose gold day-date to your collection, we have one here. Reach out to us if you're looking for any pieces that you want to add to your collection, and we'd love to do business with you. Also, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.